In Genesis chapter 16, Abraham had accepted without question the promise of a son. But he did not wait for God to fulfill his word in his own way and time. And so we are told in verse 2, "And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened unto the voice of Sarai." Now, this would go in time as one of the gravest mistakes that Abraham committed. Because you see, after Hagar, the maid, had become the second wife of Abraham, there was a mutual conflict and she began to despise Sarah, her mistress. And so we are told that Sarai dealt so hard with her to the point where she had to flee from her presence. By the way, the name Hagar means one who flees, and it was probably given to her after this incident. But when she goes into the wilderness, there she meets the angel of the Lord, and the angel of the Lord said unto her, "Behold, thou art with child, and thou shalt have a son, and thou shalt call his name Ishmael, for the Lord hath hearkened unto thy affliction." Verse 10 says, "I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude." And so this is showing us how God uses our mistakes, because we see that God is using a mistake of Abraham. Hagar goes back to Sarai, her mistress. Hagar goes back into Abraham's house, but there is still this mutual jealousy, not only between Hagar and Sarai, but also between Ishmael and the newborn child, Isaac, that we shall talk about, who is the real promised seed that came from from Abraham and Sarah. This story, above all else, is teaching us that we should not devise our own ways when God delays. We should not devise our own ways to fulfill God's promise when God delays, or when God seems to delay. The truth of the matter is, if God is not texting you, it's because he is testing you. And we learn that God intentionally delayed the promise of the son to test Abraham's faith, to build Abraham's faith. He waited for 10 years. Friend, how long have you been waiting? This story not only speaks day-to-day life, but it also speaks on a larger scale to the son whom we are waiting, the Son of God that we are waiting for. And God is calling us to be patient and to wait for him as he builds our faith like he did that of Abraham. And I'm reminded of a verse found in Lamentations chapter 3 verse 25, which says, "The Lord is good to those that wait on him, to the soul that seeks him." Thank you so much for your time. Hope to see you again as we journey through the Bible.